Imagine standing at a life-altering crossroad. One path is lit by the warm glow of love and attachment, the kind that clings to the heart. The other is illuminated by the light of faith, discipline, and unwavering obedience to Allah. Your emotions are torn in both directions. Your heart wants to hold on tightly, refusing to let go. But your soul stirs with a subtle unease, a quiet whisper that maybe something isn't right. You reassure yourself, saying, "It's just a rough patch," convincing yourself that time will heal the discomfort. But what if these difficulties aren't random? What if they are divine signs, signals from Allah trying to guide you away from what could ultimately harm you? Have you ever found yourself in a relationship that silently steals your inner peace? A bond that fills your heart with confusion and fear instead of confidence and clarity? A connection that chips away at your self-worth, your morals, and even your belief in yourself and your Lord. If this resonates with you, then this message is not just for anyone. It's meant for you. Often we become so emotionally wrapped in a relationship that we choose to ignore the flashing red flags Allah places in our path. We fall for the illusion that love on its own is enough to mend every crack. But the truth is, not every relationship is built to last. Some are tests of our resilience, while others are blessings meant to uplift us. Some people enter our lives to steer us back to Allah, while others appear as distractions, pulling us away from our spiritual center. This video aims to reveal the clear signs that Allah may not want you with someone. These aren't just human instincts or passing feelings. They are divine alerts, gracious warnings from the most merciful, designed to steer you away from long-term damage. Ignoring them can lead to emotional collapse, spiritual emptiness, and regret that echoes across a lifetime. And this isn't limited to romantic relationships. It extends to toxic friendships, draining business partnerships, and even family ties that block your spiritual growth. Harmful relationships don't always announce themselves through obvious betrayal or loud arguments. Sometimes the signs are subtle. Feeling spiritually lost, slowly drifting from your beliefs, or carrying a heavy heart without understanding why. So stay with us until the end of this video. What you're about to hear could protect your heart, your future, and your relationship with Allah. It might save you from choosing a life filled with sorrow over one blessed with serenity. These signs could be the answer you've been praying for, the signal from Allah that your soul has been yearning to receive. Don't ignore them. When Allah wants to protect you, He doesn't whisper once. He repeats His signs again and again until you finally choose to listen. One of the most striking signs that a relationship is not meant for you is when it acts as a barrier between you and Allah. A righteous relationship, whether it's with a spouse, a trusted friend, or a business partner, should draw you closer to your faith, never further. Think deeply about this. A person who genuinely values you will naturally value your relationship with your Creator. They will encourage you to pray on time, to speak truthfully, to uphold your values, and to walk the path of righteousness. But what happens when this connection has the opposite effect? When being around someone causes you to forget your spiritual goals, when your prayers become irregular, your conscience grows quieter, and you find yourself compromising your Islamic values bit by bit. Allah warns us in the Quran, "Close friends that day will be enemies to each other except for the righteous." Surah Az-Zukhruf 43:67. This powerful verse reminds us that relationships based purely on worldly desires will turn into regret on the day of judgment. The companions who pulled each other away from the truth will no longer be seen as friends, They will blame each other. Only the bonds built on guiding each other to righteousness will endure. Ask yourself, is this person helping me become a better Muslim? Do they encourage me to pray, reflect, and live for the sake of Allah? Or do they distract me with sin, excuses, and superficial happiness? The Prophet Muhammad once said, "A person follows the religion of his close friend. So let each of you look carefully at whom he befriends." This hadith teaches us that the company we keep shapes our beliefs, behaviors, and hearts. If you're constantly surrounded by someone who belittles religious commitment, who treats sins lightly, and who scoffs at the reminders of Allah, then you're in dangerous territory. You might begin by skipping one prayer, then watching something haram because everyone does it, then speaking with arrogance or carelessness. Slowly but surely, your connection to Allah fades. A true companion in marriage or friendship is someone who lifts you toward Jannah, not pulls you toward the fire. Even subtle compromises in your faith are significant red flags. Maybe they don't directly stop you from praying, but they fill your schedule so you forget. Maybe they don't force you into sin, but they create an environment where obedience becomes weird and sin becomes normal. If you're becoming spiritually weaker, don't mistake the relationship for a blessing. It is likely a test. And not every test is about how tightly you can hold on. Sometimes it's about whether you can let go for the sake of something greater, for the sake of Allah. Always remember, no relationship, no matter how sweet or comforting, is worth the loss of your bond with Allah. When everything in this life fades, He alone remains, and He alone will never abandon you. Among Allah's most precious gifts is sakinah, that deep, unwavering peace. Relationships that are blessed by Allah bring you peace, not anxiety. They nurture your soul, not burden your heart. In the Quran, Allah describes a righteous marriage, and among His signs is that He created for you from yourselves mates that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy. Surah Ar-Rum 30:21. This verse speaks of true relationships, those built on calmness, mercy, and mutual affection. So what does it mean when your bond brings you the opposite? If arguments are constant, if the emotional pain outweighs the joy, if you feel like you're walking on eggshells every day, that's a divine sign. If you wake up dreading the day, feeling spiritually and emotionally suffocated, that is Allah gently nudging you to reevaluate. Peace is not a luxury, it's a proof of blessing. Love alone is not enough. A relationship without peace is a house without a foundation. It might stand for a while, but it will collapse. The Prophet said, "The most beloved people to Allah are those who bring the most benefit to others." A person who claims to love you but causes emotional pain, spiritual confusion, and daily distress is not a benefit, they are a warning. Real love uplifts you. Real care gives you security. If someone constantly makes you question your worth, feel emotionally alone, or strips your peace away piece by piece, then they are not sent to complete you. They are sent to teach you, and sometimes the lesson is to walk away. If a relationship steals your peace, it may not be a punishment, it may be Allah's protection. He sees what your heart refuses to accept. And while you're praying for things to work, He's answering by showing you that this isn't the right path. Listen, you may have tried endlessly to fix things, to talk, to change, to sacrifice. But what if no matter how hard you try, everything still feels wrong? Each step feels heavier than the last. Problems keep resurfacing. Misunderstandings never seem to fade. It's like every door you knock on refuses to open. And you wonder, why isn't this working? Sometimes these aren't tests of patience. They're acts of divine redirection. Allah tells us in the Quran, but perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. Allah knows while you know not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2216. We might desire something deeply, believing it will bring us joy, but only Allah sees the full picture, the hidden dangers, the emotional toll, the future heartbreak. If you're facing roadblocks, failed proposals, financial strain, family objections, don't rush to fix everything. Step back and reflect. Have you prayed istikhara? The Prophet taught us this powerful dua for a reason. When you sincerely ask Allah, if this is good for me, make it easy, and if not, take it away from me and take me away from it. Trust the answer He gives. If after your prayer you see more confusion, more stress, more rejection, don't force what's not written. Don't ignore the discomfort just because your heart is attached. Trust Allah when He pulls you back. Trust that He will replace your loss with something infinitely better. Peace is a sign of alignment. Struggle without peace is a sign of misalignment. And finally, remember, a person's real worth is revealed in how they act, not just what they say. Words are easy, but character? That's where truth lives. The Prophet said, "The best of you are those who are best to their families." So watch how they treat others, how they behave when angry, how they respect or disrespect you and your faith. A good relationship doesn't just sound good, it feels good. And it brings you closer to Allah, not further. Even if a relationship ends, Allah will open new doors. He will guide you to better friendships, better opportunities, and if it is written for you, a spouse who will truly be a blessing in your life. Final thoughts. If Allah is removing someone from your life, trust that it is for your own good. Do not chase after what Allah is saving you from. What is written for you will never pass you by, and what is not meant for you will never stay. Are you in a relationship that carries these signs? Let us know in the comments how you plan to put your trust in Allah's wisdom. May Allah guide us all to what is best. Ameen.